Welcome to the Lighting Element News Network. I am Maddie McElwee, CEO of the Lighting Element, coming to you from our studios in North Park, San Diego. Thanks for joining us for episode 16. First, I'd like to go to a segment that we like to call Dad Jokes with Scott. Take it away, Scott.
I asked my dog what 2 minus 2 is. She said nothing.
Welcome back. Thank you, Scott. Today for our product demo, we're bringing back our friend Matt from Lucifer Lighting. Check it out.
Hi there, this is Matt from Lucifer Lighting, coming to you live from Carlsbad, California. Last time on TLE News Network, we talked about Stellar, our unique and innovative product with 2 independently controlled LEDs, which provide both an indirect and a direct light source. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the new upgrades to Fraxion 3, our 3-inch family of downlights. When you hear the name Fraxion, think of 2 things. 1, a fraction of the price. 2, a fraction of the size as it relates to the housing. On the fixed and wall wash, the housing is 2.6 inches tall. Even on the adjustable at 3.5 inches, it's perfect for a 2x4 application. So whether you're working on residential or commercial, if you have the need to save space above the ceilings, just know that Fraxion is a solution for you. Now, we've had this product on the market for a few years, and we've received a lot of valuable feedback from our specifiers. We've taken that feedback and put it into 5 major upgrades into the new Fraxion 3, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. First, I'd like to talk about the improved aim and adjustability. Here we have a trimless adjustable. I've taken off the back panel of the housing so that you can see some of the technology and mechanisms on the inside. We've adjusted the pin to make it very easy to change the tilt of the mechanism and lock it back into place. We've also added a very large thumb screw underneath here, so you can reach up through the aperture, loosen it, rotate the fixture up to 360 degrees, and then lock it back down. The second upgrade to the new Fraxion 3 is that we now have a true trimless wood solution. And one of the reasons that our solution is so clean has to do with the quality of our baffles. These baffles are actually made in a mold. When they come out, we file this edge down by hand so that it becomes very sharp, almost knife-like. And when you put the baffle into that nice clean cut in the ceiling, you end up with this seamless transition from the inside of the baffle over to the surface of the ceiling. Very cool. Another upgrade to Fraxion 3 is we have more than doubled the ceiling thickness from 1 inch to 2.125 inches. Our engineers have come up with this telescoping trim assembly, which has allowed us to more than double that ceiling thickness. Along with that ceiling thickness, we now have more integral driver options. So you as a specifier, you can specify phase, 0 to 10, or Lutron Premier integral drivers. That is always going to be a challenge whenever you have a very small aperture and a very small housing, because it becomes difficult to get those drivers in and out of there. Just know that Fraxion 3 has that solution for you. And last but not least, we've launched narrow beams in Fraxion 3. So we now have optics down to 10 degrees available in this family of products. Not only is this available in Fraxion 3, but it's available in all of our downlight families and all of our cylinders and splendors. And these optics, just as a reminder, are easily interchangeable in the field. And with that, I'd say you're all up to date on the upgrades to Fraxion 3. If anybody would like any further information, please reach out to your local TLE representative and we can schedule a one-on-one meeting. We'd be happy to do that. For now, this is Matt signing off from Carlsbad. Until next time, it's summer here and the surf is up.
Thanks, Matt. You are always a fan favorite. Now let's check out Esther and this week's At Home with TLE.
Hello everyone, happy Friday. My name is Esther and today is a special day because I have a special guest. For those of you guys who don't know, I am a dog mom and specifically to this lovely pug. She's very focused on going outside because we are actually at one of our favorite places. We are at the Del Mar Dog Beach. Alrighty. let's release the beast.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So right now the beach is pretty much empty. There's a few other dogs that I saw, but the best time to come here is whatever is the best for you and your pet. I started bringing her on Saturdays and Sundays, and that is when it is crazy packed with all the dogs you can imagine, and it is just the absolute best time. One tip is actually to bring a beach chair and not a beach towel, because if you are sunbathing on a towel, you will get pummeled by dogs and covered in sand because they love to chase each other and they have no spatial awareness sometimes. As you can tell, she is happy as can be. Thank you guys so much for following me around and for checking out the beach with me. I hope if you're in the area, you're able to see it for yourself and experience it for yourself. Once again, thank you. And if you need a quote or if you just want to say hi, my name's Esther and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks, Esther. So awesome. And finally, I'm going to show you part 2 of landscape lighting tips from Lightcraft Lighting in this week's Tech Time. Okay, this is Tech Time Landscape Lighting Part 2. If you watched last week, you would have seen Landscape Lighting Part 1. So we're going to get a little bit more into the design. Last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, we talked a little bit about wire sizing, transformer sizing, kind of things like that. We're going to talk today a little bit more about the design side. When you start your design, what you want to do is choose the correct source. So I talked in another Tech Time about beam spreads. So if you have a tall, skinny tree, you want to use a narrow optic, wider optic for a wider tree, and a very wide optic for something very wide. Whether it's tall, skinny, basically, is it skinny or is it wide? You want to light it with the correct type of beam spread. And then look at your property and all your different things and what do you have there and what do you want to light up? Do you have anything with texture, like a rock wall? You're going to want to graze this. You're going to want to floodlight these larger trees. You might have some stairs that you want to put some cool lines of light down. Figure out your whole design first. And here's a general rule of thumb with your heights and what wattage you might need. My personal preference is to still use LED lamps and use low voltage fixtures and swap out the LED, because as technology gets better, you'll be able to change that lamp without changing the fixture. As technology, like one day we can probably light that 30-foot tree with a 2-watt lamp. So I prefer to use lamp-based low voltage landscape fixtures. There's also different styles of lighting that you might want to do. You could backlight a tree, which is basically lighting a tree from behind. So you'll be looking at it from this front angle, but the light will be coming from behind it. It creates a really cool effect. You can also silhouette that same tree where you light the wall behind it, and then that bush or tree becomes in silhouette. So it looks black in front of this well-lit wall. We've talked about grazing, or if you have a really nice texture, you definitely want to get really, really close, at least within 12 inches, and shine straight up that wall with a narrow optic, and that'll accent all that beautiful texture. There's also a technique called moonlighting, where you put the fixtures up in the tree, lighting down. This is a beautiful effect, but it is a little hard to run that wire up into the tree. So be careful when you're doing that. Make sure you calculate extra wire distance to get up inside that tree and then the mounting correctly. And then shadowing is another cool effect, where if you have, and I love this with like spiky cactus plants and stuff, if you have a blank wall, you put a spiky cactus in front of it, you light that cactus and create a shadow of the cactus on the wall. And it's a super neat effect. It works great with like yucca style plants, and those really spiky plants look amazing in a shadowing effect. So think about the effects you want to use when you're lighting up your landscape, and that will help you determine what types of light to use. When your design is done, so say this is a house we're designing and we have 3 tall palm trees, we have 7 medium shrubs, we have 2 potted plants we want to light up, We have 12 path lights, and then we want to graze our facade with 2 on both sides. So say we have 2 of those. Total wattage is only 122 watts. So a 300-watt transformer would be plenty of room. I don't know that I'd go as tight as 150 because you might want to add fixtures down the road. So I'd size that transformer to at least 300. And then determine your Kelvin temperature. So, you could go really warm, 2700, or really cool. The cooler colors look like moonlight, and sometimes it's nice in landscape to mix colors. You don't often do that, but in landscape lighting, it looks really nice when you do mix, but you have to do it with determination and not by accident. And then here are some of my favorite products. The Hadco FlexScape. The beam inside of here operates kind of like a mag light. So as you twist it, the beam gets wider. As you twist it back in, the beam gets narrower. So this one fixture can do multiple beams, floods and spots. You just get this one fixture and it will do everything. It is inherent LED, so it's not a lamp source. It's always going to be this LED, but it's so flexible. It's great. Also, there are these candles by Lightcraft. They flicker. They're absolutely gorgeous. I have them in my backyard. I also have these globes in my backyard, and they are gorgeous. And then Vista Pro, they have a Wi-Fi enabled transformer where you can just put it in and then you can program everything with your smartphone. And they have a huge breadth of product for landscape lighting and have a 48-hour quick ship. So these are some of my favorite products. I hope you learned a little bit about landscape lighting today, and get back over to the studio. Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed the 16th episode of TLENN. To enter our contest, please email contest@tlesd.com with answers to these 3 questions. A winner will be randomly selected for a $50 Grubhub gift card from all the correct answers by next Friday, June 25th. Question number 1. What Lucifer product did Matt show us? Question number 2. Where in San Diego was Esther? And question number 3. What was the punchline to Scott's dad joke? Thank you for joining us today. This is Maddie McElwee with TLENN reminding you to make it better with great lighting.